Week's Tim Tom Talks. I'm Tim in Australia.
And I'm Tom in Los Angeles, California. The next step, they say, this is how we are going to immerse ourselves into solving this. And they list out what they're going to focus on in solving for now, right? It could be getting more hospital beds. It could be getting more PPE equipment. It could be getting funding for small businesses. It could be getting business committees together to figure out sectors and how to open them. Whatever it is, they figure out what needs immersion, who's going to do it, who's going to be tasked with it, and not only that, how they're going to report on their progress, which I love because it's very clear. It's like, this is a problem, this is what we need, but we need smart people to think about this. We need them to meet and immerse themselves in this problem and come back with recommendations. And we're going to set up, this is the timeline that we're going to look at updates on each one of these to find out what the next step is going to be. Brilliant.
Brilliant.
And it's not saying things are going to be better right away. It's not saying we promise. They're saying, hey, we need to look at this more and we need smart people to do it. That's not us. We're going to put the best people on it. We're going to get to the answer, so that gives you security that they're addressing it. They're not asking for the answer right now today. They're saying we need really smart people on this. We need to figure out this situation. We need to get the right answers, and we will be reporting our progress to you on this timeline.
Yeah.
That's all I need. That's all anybody needs. And that's all employees are asking for, or any of the people in the corporation. They want to know that there's a vision. They want to know that you understand the problem, and they want to know that you understand how to get out of it.
I mean, the key things, all of which are sort of echoes from what you just said there, Tom. The key things that came out of this webinar, which was really more a conversation. The way that we run these things, Mel and I, is, we're there as hosts and moderators. We're not there purely as, sort of, the sort of the sage on the stage to sort of to tell you what to think. Make your notes, and we'll sign the autograph at the end. Thanks very much. We're there to have a conversation and to ask people what they're doing and what's working for them, and then to really sort of again aggregate this collective wisdom and just kind of come up with kind of a list at the end of, here's some things that are working for other people. Try them, and we'll talk about it again next week. So it's almost more of a seminar, but the key things that came out of it were connection, and really using emotional connection as the key lever. So being prepared to express emotion in order to best sort of like pressure test how people are individually dealing with the situation right now, and that then gives you kind of a way to connect in with them. This person's good this week. They've got that. I can motivate them very directly, with some sort of short-term goal and an external motivator. But that person's in a different place. Goals go out the window. It's all about finding a way to reconnect them to an intrinsic motivator, just so that they can show up again tomorrow. So it's really an individualized approach as much as is physically possible, depending on the scale of your organizational responsibility and the size of the team that you're managing. And then beyond that, it was about supercharging your communication. So Mel has this great term of being a super communicator. That's really what leaders need to be now, and almost certainly moving forward. And there were lots of examples coming from the group, some of whom are in essential services. There was a leader of a mental health provider business there. Somebody else was running a hospital unit. And then there were others from manufacturing, from services, from universities. But all had similar examples of the best leaders that they were aware of within their own organizations were communicating concisely, frequently, and rhythmically. So there was an example of a CEO who every day was sending an email around basically saying, this was yesterday, and this is what the plan is for today. And this is what we think the plan is for tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Right? It was literally like bang, 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 bang. Others were doing a short video recording. That's something that I've been doing, sort of with my team, just a snappy 5 minutes. Here's the week that was, here's the week ahead. And that seems to be being, sort of well received. So connect, communicate, and then the third one, and I think, for some people this was the most important one, was really just sort of have a sort of a sense of putting the human first. Yeah, and I think really that, especially when you're talking about motivation, we've got to kind of come right down to purpose and reconnecting people with that. It was something that Simon Sinek said on stage with Paul, that Paul brought up, that purpose is human. It's kind of one of those great Senecisms. It's just that very, very sort of distilled message. So I think reconnecting people to purpose, whether that's their own personal purpose, whether it's the organization's purpose, purpose followed by values, followed by mission, that's that kind of motivational train, and that's how to ignite them. So I'd say that we've probably just gone through a little bit of immersion in this key topic and touched on some inspiration. But Tom, would you give any further sort of insights around the immersion on this topic, or some inspirational, sort of people that you would point to, people you think are really, really sort of doing this very, very well right now?
People I see right now being very immersive. I have to say, there's a governor of California, Gavin Newsom, and the governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo. These guys, okay, so this is crisis management 101, and they are doing it on steroids. They are mastering this. And each of them, they are owning up to mistakes. They are owning up to where we are. And they list it out every day on news conferences. They list it out. Here's what we need. Here's what's happening. So the next step, they say, this is how we are going to immerse ourselves into solving this. And they list out what they're going to focus on in solving for now, right?
For me in Australia, I hope that's been useful. I hope, there's been some learnings that you can extract from all of that. And, we'll be back next week to talk again about imagining.
Yeah, thank you so much. And we'd love to hear from you too on how you imagine, how you ignite, how you immerse, and what am I forgetting?
How you inspire.
All right, Tom from California. Bye-bye.
See you next time.